Om Namah Shivaya. A very good morning and a hearty welcome to all our esteemed guests and participants who have gathered here. India, not just a mere word formed of letters, right? It carries a lot of emotions and pride within us. For thousands of years, India has shown her breathtaking beauty and vibrancy through her diverse culture and values. Vasudeva Kudumbakam, the idea of the entire world as one family, is one such example showing the richness of knowledge and values she imparts to the world through her great rishis. Ancient knowledge has always contained holistic solutions for the modern problems we face, but sadly, many times it goes under the blanket. And to communicate the insights from India to the world has always been a challenge. To break such challenges and spread knowledge are the need of books. I welcome you all once again to the launch of our books, Colors of Wisdoms, Insight from India and Architects of a Great Nation, Insights from India. Let me take the privilege in welcoming the guest on the dais, Shri Aravindan Neelakandan ji, Professor Ram Sharma ji, Brahmachari Amrita Chaitanya ji, and Brahmachari Rupesh Kaleshan ji. The School of Spiritual and Cultural Studies, Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, focuses on the study and research of Indian philosophy, spirituality, culture, arts, literature, and society under the constant guidance of our Chancellor Amma, Sadguru Shri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi. This center passionately considers one of our goals as to spread the wisdom of Indian culture to the whole world. And publishing books on the glory of India and her culture is a step towards this goal. Now, to tell us about the books, let me welcome the editor, Brahmachari Rupesh Kaleshan, on the dais. Shri Rupesh ji currently serves as assistant professor at Amrita School of Spiritual and Cultural Studies, Amritapuri campus, a passionate person about India and her lively culture. He has been teaching various subjects related to Indian culture and history for last 15 years, and in a couple of years he has mentored and directed many youngsters towards social, national and cultural commitment. He has been a trainer in the youth empowerment program Sadgamaya for almost 10 years and has conducted sessions on Vedic mathematics and various campuses. And he currently works on curriculum design of cultural education for Amrita Vidyalayam institutions. So without taking much time, let me welcome Brahmachari Rupeshi.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. Thank you, Amrita Jain. To read is to voyage through time. Any of you know who said this? It's said by Carl Sagan. So, reading actually travels us through time. It is true in every sense. With just a glimpse of a book, actually one could lose themselves in the ideas which would have conceived perhaps 1,000 years back. So I hope these two books do the same. I am delighted to announce that the first of this book, you can see the cover page on the screen, titled Colors of Wisdom, will be used as the 11th standard textbook for Indian culture and value education at our Amrita Vidyalayam schools across the country. The cover page symbolizes how different strands of wisdom come together from different directions to form a person. The second book, titled Architects of a Great Nation, will be used as the 12th standard textbook for Indian culture and value education of our schools. The cover page shows a human pyramid of people of all different kinds trying to raise the flag, implying the need of the hour for our youth to become the architect of our nation. Our nation is in their hands. In one of her speeches of our beloved Amma, she envisions about education, that education should instill awareness and strengthen the deep bond between the student and the nation, the world, his fellow human beings and other creatures, nature and God. Education should spread light within and without. These two books are entirely based on this framework. When we look at the chapters of this book, we might feel, aren't they a set of unconnected chapters? For example, one chapter talks about karma and its effect, and later the immediate next chapter might be jumping to something related to the nation, maybe the story of a freedom fighter. And the next one would be man and nature, how they are interconnected. So, see, they are not very disparate. We hope each chapter connects a reader with nature or nation or his fellow beings or to the profound spiritual truths. After having taken blessing from Amma, we consulted not less than 10 field experts in Indian culture, again seeking inputs on which elements we should impart to the students. For example, ICHR of ICHR suggested that we discuss about the historical stories which makes a student feel proud of his culture and country. He recommended we talk about the victory at Kolachal War and unsung heroes and all. The artist who introduced the famous cartoon character Dingen in the children's magazine in Kerala in the 80s, Sri Somasundaram sir suggested that we should give the children plenty of biographies. He believed that it is by learning the story of a person a child would benefit the most. The reader will be aspired to become like that. There has been endless hours of discussion with Shri Aravindan Neelakandan ji, who is on the dais. In his previous visits to our campus, he suggested about the idea of spiral curriculum, wherein a same idea spirally comes back at a later stage with a new perspective so that it gets deeply imprinted in the hearts of the reader. So based on such valuable suggestions, we can see historical elements in the book which invokes pride, the biographies of unsung heroes and Mahatmas of our nation, ideas which spirally comes back again, etc. We are indebted to all these scholars who helped us to move into the next stage of the book after its framework was set. Now this is the part where I should express my gratitude to my committed team. Without them who wrote, reviewed, edited, etc., this book would never have been possible. Although time constraints prevent me from naming each member, I must acknowledge the dedication of Miss Preetimol Gobi, who has been working on these books for an entire year. I take this opportunity, she is sitting right here. You can stand, maybe everybody can see you. She was dedicatedly working for an entire year to bring these books out. So I take this opportunity to thank her and the entire team also. I also extend my thanks to the support provided by the head of our institutions, Principal Brahmachari Amrita ji, Balakrishnan sir, Devidas Chaitanya, the director of the campus, and also AOC for the design and the layout support. Now, finally, this is the part where I dedicate this book. As we live in the presence of a divine Mahatma like Amma, we humbly realize that nothing is possible without her compassionate glance. Or rather, everything is possible only through her compassionate smile. These books are already petals of flowers offered at her feet. Same time, I would also want to make another dedication. Learning history, I understand that our country was at the zenith of glory in education several centuries back when universities like Nalanda and Takshashila and Odandapuri flourished here. Nalanda had 3 huge libraries which housed multitudes of manuscripts and books. When it was ransacked by Khilji, it is said that the library was set to fire and the books burned for months. This book is a simple and humble retribution. This is nothing when compared to the huge sized library of Nalanda. Perhaps a drop in contrast to the ocean. But this book is a message. This book is a message of the revival of the Indian knowledge traditions. Thank you.
Thank you, Rupeshi, for giving us a comprehensive idea on the books. You really took us through the books, each content, what we should be expecting, what a reader can expect through it. So now, to the most awaited part of the program, the release of the books. May I request Shri Aravindan Neelakandan ji to release the book, Colors of Wisdom, Insights from India. Now, I humbly request our guests to address our gathering on the books. I welcome Shri Aravindan Neelakandan ji. Aravindan Neelakandan ji is a co-author of the hugely successful and bestseller book Breaking India. As the contributing editor of Swarajya, he focuses mainly on culture, science, philosophy of science and history. May I request Aravindan ji to address our gathering?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I thank Holy Mother, Amma, and also all the people who have gathered here, and my congratulations to the team that has put this beautiful book together. And it's a very interesting thing that this year is also the centenary year of one of the greatest writer for children in Tamil called Alavaliyappa. He used to write the beautiful, apart from very beautiful poems, he also used to write a lot of wonderful biographies of great inspiring lives for children. And it inspired us all, a complete generation, to contribute something to the nation and culture and for the entire humanity. And it is this centenary that this particular books have come, and it's a very wonderful work that has been done here. I went through the books, and the first thing that struck me was the care with which the diagrams have been made. Whenever you are making books for students, usually what happens is that care is not given to the diagrams that are made in a very shabby manner, because they think that people who make this think that just children, they will just look at anything and they would admire it. But here a lot of care has been taken to give those beautiful pictures, and then there are stories, and there are a lot of values that have been given. For example, the 16 great virtues of Sri Rama that has been serialized, and it is really beautiful, and it will be a great exercise for the students to go through this and identify what are all the great virtues of Sri Rama. Of these 16 virtues, what are all the great virtues that are present in our friends. So if each of you go and look for these virtues in your friends and identify one or two virtues, then you will see Rama in your friends. And that will actually create a very good sense of friendship. Then there is this beautiful story of Jivaka who goes and searches for a herb that is not useful, a plant that does not have medicinal value. The guru tells him, go and find out a herb that does not have a medicinal value. So Jivika goes and searches and searches and searches. He finds that every plant has a medicinal value. And actually this comes from also there is a Subhashitam in Sanskrit that says that there is not a single syllable that doesn't have a mantric value. There is not a single plant that doesn't have a medicinal value. There is not a single human being who is a ayogya, a person who is not a person who is worthless. You can't tell a single human being. Only thing that is hard to find is a person who will coordinate all this. But then we are all fortunate, because the person who is coordinating all of us is Amma herself. So we are getting so beautifully coordinated. The result is these books. I really congratulate the team. The kind of love and effort and intelligence that they have put into these books, wonderful. You should all benefit from it. It is not only for 11th and 12th standard students. You all should get it. You should gift it to your friends for birthday or other occasions. And you should make sure that these books are read by everyone who can read, understand English. Thank you.
The Breaking in the current trending or the current book on sale of Aravindan ji is Hindutva, Origin, Evolution and Future. I missed it, sorry. So thank you Aravindan ji for talking about our book and going through the each contents and the images. Thank you so much. Now I welcome Ram Sharma ji to speak a few words on the book. Professor Ram Sharma is the head of Center for Indic Studies. He has been engaged in working with various facets of Indic issues and studies since 2004. He is credited with having started the trend of recording talks on Indic issues while working as the Secretary of India Inspires Foundation. He is also the curator of Dharma versus Religion project. I welcome Ram Sharma ji.
I'm feeling blessed that I'm here, and I shared this yesterday also, that I have been waiting for this moment to come to this ashram, to this place, and because of Amma's powerful presence here, and this place has become known throughout India, ashram as well as university, because they are leading in many areas. Particularly, all of us, those who work in Indic Studies, they look towards Amrita University because they are showing us the way for spiritual and cultural studies. Not many departments you will find in India of this theme, of this name, of such kind of studies are done in India. So what, of course, we are envisioning in next 25 years, 15 years, 10 years down the line, that we are witnessing right now in Amrita University happening. So I think big round of applause for all the team members who are here. Second thing is, it's not easy to produce content. Okay. And that requires a really dedicated team to come to find out the content, to bring it to the students, and according to their grades, according to where they stand right now. And these books are really wonderful introduction to Indian culture and spirituality. In fact, all Indic ideas, these are not comprehensive works, but these are pointers for further exploration regarding Indian cultural studies. So while I was going through this, and I really liked that there are two sections I think every one of you must read, even college students must go through it, particularly when you go for campus placement. Okay, so you are taught communication skill because you have to appear for group discussion, you have to appear for interview and all related skills. Though these books are designed for 11th and 12th students, but I think these chapters would be very useful for you to understand what were our indigenous model of communication skill. And if you go through this, you will find that that in our Shastras, in our Indic tradition, communication and the language was given such a huge importance, because the first thing or first window to the knowledge is understanding of deeper layers of language. And I would like to share here this, that the speaking skills of Shri Ram is mentioned here, and what kind of a speaking skill we should all have. And if we really can imbibe that, I think we can give on global platform something very important, very insightful and very comprehensive when it comes to communication skills. So what it says that Shri Ram was Hitbhashi, Mithbhashi, Shrutbhashi and Purvbhashi. Now I am coming from language studies background. I did my PhD in semantics, okay, language studies. I have never read such comprehensive definition of how do you communicate with each other. It's not about that you should not speak truth, but even while you are speaking, the thing that might not appeal to the person who's there, you're talking to, you might be exposing as falsehood. But still, how can you be Mithbhashi and Hitbhashi as well? This is something Indian text are, the mining you can have from Indian text, and you can get a lot of material from there. What I have seen is that when it comes to teaching communication skill, particularly I'm talking about this here only Western models are taught, never any Indian models are taught about. So while I was going through, I thought that this can be elaborated upon, this can be extended, and when you go to the global platform, let's say you're going to American university, any German university, or Chinese university, you can tell that this is the model that India has taught to its younger generation, and that's we would like to share with you. And of course, chapters after chapters, I see a lot of insights are coming. One more thing I would like to share here, which I rarely find people, even those who are working in Indic areas, and that is, if something good is coming out of the West, we should also study that. Of course, keeping in mind that we don't have to accept things blindly, whether it coming from our own area or from the West. That vivek, that discrimination should be there. So while this book talk about mind control, and of course we have a lot of stuff on mind control through yogic practices, meditation, but they also mention a very important psychological experiment done in Stanford, and that is a Stanford marshmallow experiment, okay, in 1960. So I think, and that give me, that how inclusive in the faculty or the researcher at Amrita University is, that they are not putting label of the Western category and discarding it altogether. So they are filtering it, what is best coming out from the West, equating, comparing that with Eastern theory and bringing out for you. So this is distillation of not only Indian text, this is distillation of Indian text and whatever even the best practices we can learn from across the country. Okay, so this requires real comprehensive study and survey. So I request you all to please go through this stuff, though they are meant for school children, but even I have seen faculty are ignorant about all these kind of Indic ideas or Indic studies that they at least must be the fundamental they must be exposed to. So congratulations to Shivanandanji and other team members here. Congratulations to the School of Spiritual and Cultural Study for this wonderful work. Thank you.
Thank you for pointing out what each student of our institution can take up through this book. Now, I welcome Brahmachari Achyutamrita Chaitanya Ji, Principal, School of Spiritual and Cultural Studies, to talk.
Vindeya Devadam Vacham Amridam Atmanakalam. Distinguished guests on this dais and my dear friends, students of the dais. I won't take much time because the next session has to start. So anyway, it's a very happy experience for me also to sit on the dais and participate in this book release. Actually, I am a member of this team. And Preeti Mol used to come very frequently to my cabin and get clarifications about the shlokas, how they have to be, the diacritical mark, how the spelling should be in English, and what is the exact lines in Sanskrit. And she has done a marvelous work in collecting all the matter, all the content for it, even from the original sources. And the distinguished guests were speaking about reading the book. You all should read. They were suggesting, they were recommending. Actually, speaking about this book for any length of time is not sufficient, is not enough. It is not even justifiable. Reading itself is the experience. I have been reading the first book, that is Colors of Wisdom, of which I was a part, in the making of which I myself was a part. But reading it gave me a new experience. The 16 qualities of Sri Rama, the questions put and the answers given. Actually, 16 qualities were asked by Narada, by Valmiki to Narada, and Narada explains more than 16 qualities of Rama. And examples are given from modern times. Then the story of Kuili, maybe many of you may be unaware of the story of Kuili. Then the next chapter on being fearless, the famous example of Swami Vivekananda while he was traveling in Kashi. A group of monkeys attacked him and he was running for his life from them. Then one elderly Swami, sannyasi, told him, don't run away, face the brute. And Swami Vivekananda learnt a lesson from that event. So all these things are very beautifully explained in this book. Actually, this is a must read for everyone. You all may be practicing these Ayam and Maham sessions. But to know what yoga is, you have to practice. Yogena yogo bodhavyaha. You cannot study about yoga or read about yoga or discuss about yoga and understand. To understand what yoga is, you have to practice. In the same way, to enjoy the content or the book, we have to read it. And nowadays, people are all engaged in gadgets, in YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp, and all these social media and all those things. But if we get a passion for reading, all the other entertainments will become insignificant. There is a famous quote in Sanskrit, a Subhashidam. Yasyasti sadgrantha vimarsha bhagyam kim tasya shushkair abarair vinodai. One who has the fortune or the luck of enjoying good works, yasyasti sadgrantha vimarsha bhagyam. One who can read, assimilate, reflect on good books. Kim tasya shushkair abarair vinodai. For him, all other entertainment media, entertainment tools become shushka, will become irrelevant or tasteless. So, reading such books will give us a lot of happiness, pleasure, joy, in addition to information and knowledge and wisdom. So, as my previous speakers Aravindan Neelakandan ji and Dr. Ram Sharma ji recommended. I also strongly recommend that all of you should go through the book and get the maximum from the book. With this, I offer my words at Amma's lotus feet. Om Amruteshwarya Namah.
Thank you, Achuji, for sharing your experience while you were reading The Colors of Wisdom. Thank you so much, and for your words and the motivation you gave for the students to go through the textbooks. Now, I have heard that if you see an intellectual person, okay, you should ask him what book he reads. This line tells us the importance we give to the books and the perspectives we get from the books. I am sure the book we release today will definitely touch the lights of knowledge to its readers. And to put in point, each sections, as mentioned by everyone, every speakers here, has been very much thought about, researched and put forward in. So I'm sure that the readers will definitely get what as the subtitle says, insights from India. So you all will be getting a lot of insights from India, and these are the pointers which will take you towards the depth of Indian knowledge. So now to conclude, together let us take this opportunity to read and grow every day with the insights from India. And to conclude, let me extend my wholehearted thanks to our guest, Shri Aravindan Neelakandan ji, Professor Ram Sharma ji, Brahmachari Achyutamrita Chaitanya ji and Rupesh ji for their words. And also, I thank the audience who have been very patiently and listening and encouraging us for the release of the book. I also thank the technical team, the ICTS, the GAD, events and AOC for their extended support. And I would fail in my words of gratitude if I do not thank Amma for showering her immense grace for the occasion. Thank you. Om Namah Shivaya.